These are the faces side by side. New bulb, old bulb. Oh, that just caught on fire. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I am super excited about today's video. As y'all can see, there's no gauge cluster in the truck. No dash in the truck. But first off, what's up guys? Welcome back here to the channel. If y'all are new here, I'm Thomas Misler, that H2. And this is my 2003, what I think I'm gonna start calling it is the McGoy's Hummer. But today we are doing a gauge cluster refurbish, I think is the best way to put it. We're replacing the face and the lights on the cluster. And I'm currently grabbing all the stuff I need to make this happen. So let me turn the camera around and show y'all what we got. So I was gonna film this video a few days ago, but long story short, the bulbs that I ordered wouldn't work with my cluster and the face was already in. So I did go ahead and put the face in the instrument cluster, and as y'all can see, that is the new face. You can see it's a black housing with pretty boxed off numbers compared to the original, which is white with bubbly numbers. And the white just, I mean, the white just doesn't work, you know, it just stands out. There's nothing white on my truck or in my truck. That's why we got this face. I picked it up off of Amazon for, I believe it was 65 bucks, something like that. If y'all are interested in this cluster, I will put it in the, I'm trying to stand y'all up. I will put it in the description below. But to replace and solder in these new bulbs, I have to pull this apart anyways. So I'm going to show y'all the process of doing that. Try to solder these bulbs in, put it back together, throw it in the truck, and see what it looks like. But the first step is pretty easy. I'm going to try to show y'all on camera. But there's a couple of clips around to pull this thing apart. You do not need to pull these bottom clips off. You need to pull these top clips. There's 3 on the top side and 2 on the bottom side. You realistically should be able to just take a screwdriver, get under there, and pry it up. So as you can see, the clear lens faces off. I am going to go ahead and clean this while I'm in here. And then you're exposed to your face and your needles. I was watching a video, and this is how I did it before. To get the needles off, you really want to remember where they sit with the motor all the way back. I already know where they sit because I've already done this before. So I'm just going to take a flathead, and a fork works just as well. And you just kind of pry. Here, I'll turn the camera around. Just kind of pry underneath, and it should just give it a little bit of pressure. And they just kind of pop off just like that. We're going to go ahead and do the rest of these, and then I'll show y'all behind it. So once you pop your needles off, there's only a couple of like little clips or tabs on here that hold the face in place. But y'all can see the old and the new now side by side. Definitely worth the money and a huge upgrade in my opinion. Like I said, for pretty cheap and pretty easy install, why not? Trying to remember. So the next thing you want to do is you want to get to the board, because the bulbs are on that board itself. I thought this just picked up, but I think you do have to undo these other clips and separate the backing from the white, which the white has that clear lens on it as well. Oh, there we go. Just like that. You want to be careful of that. It all comes apart. That just sets right on in there. We'll just set that to the side for now. And now we are exposed. I'm going to hold it down because it will just fall out, to the board itself, which has your motors on here, your bulbs, and all your other controls and whatnot. I did have this instrument cluster refurbished a few years ago, so I'm not going to replace the motors while I'm in here because they do still work just fine. But these bulbs are very small and tedious, as y'all can see. I believe there's 10 of them total. I did go ahead and pop one of these off right here the other day trying to put the new bulbs in. But let me open this up and get a good look at these bulbs and see how they're going to go in here. So I believe I can find a diagram online on what is positive and what is negative, and a diagram of this board. But on the bulb, on the very face, there is a plus and minus, and it's pretty easy. The longer side's the positive, the lower side or the shorter side's the negative. And I dropped the bulb and I looked down. I managed to somehow rip my favorite pair of jeans today. These jeans are like, I keep these clean. These are my nice jeans, and I only wear them like, I wear them a lot. I'll be real honest. but I don't wear them like as much as my work jeans. Dang, these were kind of pricey too. Put a little duct tape on it, call it a day. Let's get this knocked out. So I found a diagram online, which is very helpful, thankfully. I'll post his YouTube video in the description. I don't remember the channel name. I'll throw it on the in the description. I don't remember the channel name. I'll throw it on the screen as well. Shout out to him. He has a very good video on how to do this. And I'm testing these bulbs before I'm going in and doing this with a drill battery. And as you can see, that bulb is on and it's pure white. The diagram that he showed was beautiful. There's 4 connections total. 2 of them are just nothing. Red is positive, black is negative, of course. But what I'm doing with these, since these wires are so tall, is I'm taking them and just bending them at a 90. And then once I get them bent, so I'm going to leave this one a little bit longer, I am going to snip off the edges. That way I have just like a little millimeter, I don't even know what you want to call it. That way I got like a little flat spot just like that to solder. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a whirl. Then we'll plug it into the truck to check this first bulb, and if it works, his diagram's right and we're good to go. Let's get to it. Gauge cluster's thrown in. New bulb, old bulb. We have lights. Let's get back to it. So I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know what is going on. I put the board in the truck with one blinker in just to make sure I had it right. All the lights came on. Long story short, the blinkers were wrong. Went ahead, flipped the blinker lights around, put them in. None of the lights are coming on. It's making a weird noise. But if I turn the key, everything should be on and nothing's coming on, but the blinkers are working. So blinker, hazards, and my other lights are not turning on. And they turned on a minute ago, which makes no sense to me. Like, why did it all work? And then I put the blinkers in, now they're not working. But it is here. Let's turn the radio all the way down and just listen. It's making like a whining noise. Like it may be shorting out somewhere, but it doesn't make any sense to me because they worked before. And the blinkers work. They're all in, blinkers and all the regular lights. But now they're not working and they worked literally 5 minutes ago. I don't know, I'm going to do some research, try to figure this out. Let's just hope it works. So I went ahead, stuck the outer piece back on with the needles back in. None of the needles are actually lined up. I just want to make sure. That was a leaf that fell. I don't know what that was. I'm going to go ahead and plug this up and make sure the motors still work and the needles, click in like they're supposed to. Just to make sure I didn't absolutely fry this board, which would make no sense because all I did was solder in a couple of bulbs. As you can see, all the bulbs are back there, blinkers, hazards work. None of the other, that just caught on fire. I'm glad I got that on camera. I got something, crap. Let me get this out of the truck. All right, so the fire started right here. I just cut that bulb out. That makes no sense to me though. But y'all saw, I think on camera, it picked it up. All the lights flashed on. I wonder if these lights draw too much power. I don't know, it don't make sense though. They're just bulbs. If the bulbs are drawing too much power, they typically just don't turn on. Or it blows the fuse, but of course there's no fuse to this. I'm going to pop this motor out if I can and look underneath and see what I can find. I don't know. So I'm not going to lie to y'all. I went ahead and pulled every single bulb out. Put it in the truck. No fire. Cool. Let's go put all these bulbs back in and resolder them. There's 2 bulbs not turning on. Very good chance I have them backwards. 3 bulbs not working. 1, 2, yeah, 3. Don't know why they're not working. I may be backwards on the negative and positive. But why is it like not catching on fire now? It's kind of making me a little nervous. Kind of scared to even have it in the truck right now. But like, I can see it on my face. The lights work. I don't know. Let me go test out these other bulbs, see what's going on with them, and then I guess put it back together and put it in the truck and call it a day. I don't know. So I went ahead and got the cluster back in the truck. Looks so much better. I love that black face with the LEDs behind it. They do light up slightly blue. And that's only because the face, I guess the letters aren't white. They have like a blue film over the back of them. But I also learned that the oil pressure motor is burnt out. And I assume that's from our little fire. Not a big deal because it was working before I pulled it apart and now it's not working. So I'll have to go get a new motor or replace that. And when I go back in there, I'm going to remove the film on the back side. I don't recommend doing LEDs in the blinkers because that is excessively bright. As you can see, everything freaking works like it should, except for the oil pressure. Is that not a big deal? I'll get a motor, pull it back apart, remove that film. Can't make this up. It looks like there's like a little spider. Here, let me flip this around. I think there's a little spider in there. I need to pull it back apart anyways. And I'll get it 100%. I'm going to cut to a clip of this at nighttime, hopefully after I get it fixed. If not, it'll be as it is now. But it still looks absolutely killer. A lot better than the white, a lot better than the halogen bulbs. Where's the spider doing? Yeah, let me show you all the spider real quick and then we'll cut to a nighttime clip. Homie's just living his best life. Just crawling all over my cluster. Dang, I really need to clean up the face, but oh well. Nighttime clip. So it's currently midnight. I'm about to pull this thing back apart. I ordered this kit on Amazon for, I think it was like 40 bucks, but it came with, where did I just put it? 7 motors. It said it only came with 6 motors, which I believe all the motors are the same, but I know 100% these motors are for the smaller needle gauges. But it came with a tool to actually remove all of the needles. A little plastic tool. It won't damage the surface or anything. Came with a new soldering pin, solder, and a bunch of bulbs. So for 40 bucks, that's not bad. I'm going to link that in the description as well. Let's get this pulled apart and try to get this thing squared away. So I believe on these motors, you just unsolder these pins on the backside, and there's only 4 of them. And I'm hoping that once you unsolder them, that this motor should just come off. You can see where the little fire started, and it's kind of making me nervous that it's there on the board, but I think it started internal in the motor. And when I pulled the needle off, the whole motor just kind of fell apart. Like the plastic and everything was melting on the sides of it. So I'm hoping it comes apart pretty easily. I guess we'll see what it looks like underneath the board where the actual motor is, but I am throwing this in the video after the edit just to show you how to do a motor. So I guess let's do this and figure it out. So I was right on the motor. You do just unsolder the 4 pins on the back. And as you can see, I went ahead and resoldered the 4 new pins in. Pretty straightforward. The only thing with getting the old motor out, which is difficult because you can't, of course, heat up all 4 pins at the same time and just pop it out. What I did was I just took my fork, got under one edge, applied a little bit of pressure, heated that one up, popped it out, and then just did the rest of them like that. And this one light right here was not turning on for me. Or it was, but then it just went off and then it came back on, which told me that it just had a rough connection. And what I learned on these lights is with these prongs that are coming off of the bulb itself, you want to make sure they are pushed all the way down, touching the copper for a good connection. I think that is what caused me problems before. But I'm going to go toss this in the truck as is. And if y'all are seeing this video, this did work. I put the needle on there. So when I crank the truck, the needle should move. Hopefully it won't catch fire. I guess we'll see how it goes. But like I said, y'all have already seen the edit and everything of the gauge cluster done. So if y'all enjoyed this video, comment down below, leave a like. New wheels are on the way for the truck. They were supposed to be here yesterday. Now they're supposed to be here on Monday. It's FedEx. Probably won't see them for 3 months. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.